So apparently, people think space is fake. Oh god. Like, what limits of human stupidity are we going to reach? So, let's take a look at some of these. We will first, I'll be looking at a bunch of conspiracy theorists on Twitter, and then later a bunch of claims which I found were really common. Saying outer space is not real. It's almost funny watching the rest of the world slowly wake up. And then there's an image of an astronaut on the moon and an image with a bunch of astronauts, and then with them, images of space shuttle Challenger astronauts who were in Space Shuttle Challenger and unfortunately died. Now, what he's trying to say is that they're alive because their faces look similar. That's just dumb. And you see that old guy right there? If he's associated with that guy, that makes zero sense. Did he reverse age? This is so fake and it's really making me angry because these people, they died and it's like you're trying to insult them. That is so offensive. Now, this is by the same poster. Space is faked. There is no real evidence that man can go high enough to observe the world as spherical planet free floating in space. Oh god, I can already feel the stupidity. Earth hints at high altitude to limit all travel. How? That does not make sense at all. Limit all travel? Dude, light can travel without any medium. And a lot of things can travel without any medium. In fact, rockets do go in space. Then obviously they don't believe in space, so they're gonna probably just say that nah, this is fake. They ask for evidence, and when we present evidence, they're like, yeah, that's just fake. Balloons can float, their planes have no lift, and rocket has no medium for thrust. Oh god, this is so dumb. Rockets don't need a medium for thrust. According to the third law of motion, if they apply a force, it will have an equal and opposite reaction, which will thrust it in the opposite direction. So if it thrusts using its fuel and oxidizer, yes, it has an oxidizer because, yeah, there is no air in space. So using the oxidizer and the fuel, it thrusts and it travels in space. Planes have no lift. Do easing that Earth's high limit or travel. If he's just talking about high altitude right now, I hate to break it to your buddy, but planes do fly in high altitude, and there is barely any air. I mean, there is air. I mean, it's just not as much as you would want. So yeah, planes do have lift. Balloons cannot float it. I mean, that makes sense. You're on that one because the pressure inside the balloon will make it burst because there's basically zero pressure outside the balloon because of the lack of air. Now, this is the next one by Not a Globe. This is a small RC car. They used miniature models to fool you. No one has ever been to space because space is fake. Again, give me some proof, dude. Give me some proof. You're just showing me a video of uh, the lunar roving vehicle. Yeah, I think it's called the lunar roving vehicle. It's just a video of it. That's it. And then there's NASA called faking space again. There is really on Earth. Nobody goes to outer space because it simply does not exist. If outer space were real, they wouldn't constantly need to fake it. Wake up. So this is apparently a green screen which is reflecting. First of all, that is just a reflection. That is not a green screen, and I can prove that with a simple thought. To show the green screen, you use chroma key, right? And if you turn chroma key, it will work on reflections of the green color as well. It works. And here the green stays green, so yeah, that's definitely not working. Definitely not. And that's enough for the Twitter posts. Let's see some of these claims that they make. First claim, the luminiferous ether. Dude, come on. This thing does not exist, okay? Then there is stuff about not going to the moon. That's why space is fake. And they're saying Van Allen belt radiation. What do you mean by Van Allen belt radiation? First, you said that space is fake, and now you're saying Van Allen radiation belt, which is in space. So, again, are you trying to prove yourself wrong? Do you believe in space or do you not? Tell me. Then there's another one. Air cannot exist next to a vacuum. Now, there are two types of people asking these questions. Either they're dumb or they don't know what a vacuum is. Some of these people assume that a vacuum sucks things. It doesn't. A vacuum never sucks things. Instead, it's just a place which has no space. They say that there needs to be a container or the air will all go away. See, the container is holding it back. You know what else is holding back that air? It's gravity. And gravity's effect is still not that enough, because if you go up in the atmosphere, the air gets thinner as the air gets further and further away from us, and the gravity on it weakens. And yeah, it's a very slow gradient. It gradually shifts from normal pressure to lower pressure because of the lack of air. Now, that really totally makes sense. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's enough for today.